Thank you, Hugh, and a very good evening to you on a night when so much hangs in the balance. Such has been the scale of Liverpool's brilliance. They've ended February still chasing an unprecedented quadruple. Spurs would be more than happy to settle for one piece of silverware to prevent their trophy drought entering an 18th year. Liverpool's pursuit of footballing immortality rests on a potential 29 games over the next 4 months, all with varying significance. But while some have an inherent margin for error, this one doesn't. Tonight, a must-win for the Reds against the only English side who've beaten them in nearly 5 months. Since that controversial first leg in North London, Spurs have edged from drama towards crisis, having snapped their losing streak in the league and got some fresh blood in as their corner finally been turned. A Wembley final would paper over a fair few cracks. Silverware fills them all in. These the teams: Liverpool, Kelleher in goal, Bradley, Kanate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and Jones, Salah, Nunez and Gakpo. Kinski in goal for Spurs, Gray, Danso, Davis and Spence, Bissouma, Bentancur and Sarr, Kulusevski, Richarlison and Son. Liverpool in all red, Spurs white shirts with the dark blue shorts. Spurs speaking from left to right in this first half, attacking the Kop. Liverpool kicking towards the Anfield Road end, the lower tier of which houses the travelling Tottenham fans, around 6,500 of them here on Merseyside tonight. So a Wembley date with Newcastle awaits. Tottenham with the first leg lead, Liverpool with home advantage. Will the Reds' quadruple dream live on, or will Spurs move within 90 minutes of their first piece of silverware since the noughties? We're underway, and a first touch for Kevin Danso, who drills it forward some 55 yards out of the Tottenham left-hand side. Ball immediately one back over on that far touchline for Liverpool. And Szoboszlai with an opportunity to try and bring it forward, the ball out towards Salah. Just takes a little nick on its way through and goes out for a Tottenham throw, which will be taken over on that far touchline. And what have you noticed, Troy, from the way that Spurs have defended in these opening moments of the game?
Nothing yet, because they've had a bit more of the ball. They're trying to be aggressive, trying to kill the noise. One thing I have noticed is that Liverpool's opposite 8 can always get in just behind, because the Spurs players are just trying to run forward and trying to get close. It looks like it's going to be a really interesting game, Jim, already. I didn't like the first couple of touches for the new centre-half. One bad touch, and his second one that you said he pinged was actually a misplaced pass. He ended up drilling it straight into Sarr's chest. So I'm more worried about how Spurs are going to be when you see this Liverpool team already look like they're flying.
Archie Gray playing outright back tonight, gets the ball away. Spurs potentially could have played Gray over on the left-hand side, moved Jed Spence to the right, but they've done that before. It is Gray at right back tonight, and that means that Spence has got his hands full of Salah, and he deals with him at the first time of asking by diverting the ball out of play for a throw, which Liverpool will take down by their corner flag.
Yeah, I just think, though, Jim, when you're talking about Archie Gray, I think playing up against Gakpo suits him. Gakpo likes to get the ball and run at you as opposed to running without the ball. I think with Salah it would cause him so many problems, having to just come short, going behind, and have those different variations to look at. I think Gakpo suits him more, and I think for Jed Spence, he needs a live wire to keep him alert and ready to go defensively. We know he's got the athletic ability to keep up with Salah, but can you be astute knowing that when the cross comes in, Salah's already on the move?
Gray's got the ball in his hands here. He's going to take a throw for Spurs. It's 0-0 with 2.5 minutes gone here at Anfield. 1-0 to Tottenham on aggregate. And play is going to stop here because Richarlison has gone down. And is he holding his throat or his chin as he lies on the deck? I don't know whether he got caught there. Just waiting to see a replay on our monitors exactly what happened and what Van Dijk did to put him on the deck.
It's a little tangle from the throw-in with Van Dijk, and it's the softest of touches. Again, I know Richarlison played with him. I played against Van Dijk. He'll be up in about 5 seconds, Jim. There's nothing wrong with him. But this is what Richard does. He tries to bait the crowd in. Look, he's up, as you can hear already. Nothing wrong with that. I actually think moving forward we've got to come up with a rule where the refs are allowed to retrospectively yellow card people, but for some reason Richarlison is trying to get into an entanglement with Mr. Van Dijk, and as I can tell you from first-hand experience, a 6'6" Virgil van Dijk is not someone that you want to make very angry.
Well, Richarlison, having got back to his feet, then walked up towards Van Dijk and gave him a little shove, shoulder to shoulder. And not the most popular figure as part of the world anyway, Richarlison, as a legacy of his days across the park. He's not got a bad record here. He's scored in 4 of his last 6 trips to Anfield, and there aren't too many that have been able to do that over the years. Richarlison is okay and plays back underway with Van Dijk in possession. That's now a battle that's going to take a fair bit of watching. Ball back towards Kelleher. Kanate. Out towards Bradley on the right-hand side with a little bit of press being applied. Liverpool have been able to play through it pretty easily. As the ball is played inside the penalty area, Kinski races out to the left-hand edge of the box, slides in, and makes sure that his lines of communication with Danso are good enough to be able to get there at the feet of Darwin Núñez. 6 goals in 30 games for Núñez so far this season. His next one will be his 40th in Liverpool colours. The ball's laid back for Kinski. Not a great clearance from him, but Bissouma salvaged it by just ducking his head in and being able to nod it forward. The Spurs will be able to bring it with Kulusevski down the right-hand side, and then Gray can take over. Ball in from him inside the penalty area. Richarlison coming to meet it. Can't quite get a touch to divert it back to Kulusevski on the edge of the penalty area, and Gravenberch brings it away, immediately closed down by Bissouma. Well, it's gone out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Liverpool left-hand side. With 5 minutes in, it's 0-0.
It's a bit of a good start though, hasn't it, for both teams. Liverpool will be happy with the pressure that they're having both with and without the ball. For Spurs, that defensive line is still very, very high, but there seems to be a lot more communication between the players. I'm just watching that very closely. They're still trying to keep the line nice and high. A lot of communication from right back to centre back to just be able to see the runs from inside to out from Núñez, and then from outside to in from the wide players. So something to keep an eye on, but I just don't like how Spurs are just allowing Liverpool to build into the game. I think you've got to quieten this crowd down and also make a big tackle where you can. Let people know you're in for a big game.
5.5 minutes in, it's 0-0 on the night, and 1-0 to Spurs on aggregate after that late Lucas Bergvall goal 4 weeks ago in North London. Liverpool had the opportunity about 20-30 seconds ago just to play one forward, and Spurs were defending, and the ball dropped over the top towards Núñez, just a yard inside their own half. Núñez with a clever little flick here. Szoboszlai can't get it out from underneath his feet. He will be able to set up Salah, whose left-footed effort was blocked, and it just bobbled through towards Kinski. But it's all Liverpool in these early stages.
It is all Liverpool, and you have to just look from it and to see the midfield of Liverpool can run off the back of this Spurs midfield at all times. Bentancur, Bissouma and Sarr all just running forward.
Oh, Gakpo with a nice ball inside the penalty area. Robertson with the pull back. It was cleared by Danso, then back in again by Gakpo. Szoboszlai, was he given a shove by Son? Referee says no. Play goes on. Richarlison is then caught, and it's going to be a free kick, which will be taken by Spurs just outside their own penalty area. I said Richarlison was caught, and my esteemed colleague's shoulder started going up and down as if to suggest that maybe there wasn't an awful lot in that.
Yeah, no, he went down. It was a foul, but it was a little bit of housery, we'll say, from Van Dijk, where he's left a little bit on Richarlison. As Richarlison puts his hand up to get picked up, Virgil just turned around and ran away laughing. I enjoy those little bits of negative play, we'll say. But just to go back to my earlier point, Jim, while we have a break, the three for Spurs are all running forward. No one's tracking the runner of Szoboszlai or Jones. Twice they've got in already. That's something just to keep an eye on. But when you are playing away at Anfield or any of these big teams and you're under the cosh, as we are 7 minutes in now, when it goes to the goalkeeper, you say to him, take a breath, slow it down. Kinski, every time he gets the ball, just launches it back out, and no one's even set, and they're trying to. It's a little bit like a Friday session that we used to have, where it's old v young, and the young boys would always be energetic and want to do it, and the older guys are like, don't worry, they'll blow out of steam soon. That's how it feels at the moment watching this game.
It's 0-0 in this League Cup semi-final. In the Women's League Cup semi-final, Mary Fowler's given Manchester City the lead at Meadow Park away to Arsenal in that delayed kickoff, which is live for you right now over on Talksport 2. Nunez has received his treatment. He's making his way over towards this near touchline. Whilst that was going on, Richarlison and Van Dijk just renewing their acquaintance, but at an appropriate distance. There's still a battle that's going to take some close observation. Kulusevski in possession for Spurs. 8.5 minutes gone. Across the UK on Talksport and across North America on Sirius XM FC. Very good afternoon to you if you're listening in Canada or the United States. 1-0 to Spurs on aggregate still. Richarlison's come back from an offside position to link up the play here. Flag up against him, and it's a free kick to Liverpool about 15 yards outside their box. We're 9 minutes in.
Yeah, good play from Spurs. A little bit of controlled pressure. Richard's been a little bit lazy coming from offside, trying to get in front. But I just feel it's a pivotal moment in Richarlison's career. I don't think his Spurs career has ever got off the ground with a lot of injuries. Obviously did really well moving to a striker for Everton, but I just feel this is a big 6 months for him to prove to not only the fan base but to himself that he belongs at a club like Spurs, because he's been struggling not only this season but a little bit last season.
2 goals in his last 3 Premier League games. Spurs trying to play out from the back here. Got away with it. Kulusevski with a great touch, and then the players back in behind him tried to replicate that and very nearly gave it away. It was Archie Gray that raises a hand of apology, but Spurs have a throw. Gray playing it right back, as we mentioned. He's played 22 games he started before tonight across the back 4. He's played more than 4 in each of the 4 positions, which shows his versatility, particularly when you bear in mind that he hasn't played any of those in his favoured position of midfield. This is his 6th start at right back tonight. He's had 4 on the right of 2 centre-halves, 9 on the left, 4 at left back as well. And a scarce opportunity of playing where he actually wants to play. Liverpool bring the ball forward with Konate. He's 5 yards inside his own half. Just works it out towards the right-hand touchline. Conor Bradley just on the stretch. Couldn't rescue a misdirected pass, which goes into the electronic haulings over on the far touchline, and it's out of play for a throw that'll be taken by Jed Spence for Spurs. 10.5 minutes in. Liverpool 0, Tottenham 0 here on Talksport. Ball thrown for Richarlison. Konate just stayed still. That was all he had to do to defend it. Knew that Richarlison wasn't going to be able to spin in behind him. Richarlison, though, chasing after the ball, laid back for Kelleher. Liverpool again able to play out past the press relatively easily. It's a nice play down the left-hand touchline by Andy Robertson. Gakpo will work it infield. Nunez can pick it up, can't thread it back through towards the Dutchman. Bentancur seeing to that. Gray will be able to then chip it away, and it's headed down on the Liverpool left-hand side by Curtis Jones. He works it back for Van Dijk inside his own half, and Jones is able to emerge back into Tottenham territory to get the Reds on the front foot again.
Yeah, Spurs need to calm down with the ball. They're so erratic.
Bradley, great run inside the penalty area. Can't get himself into a position to pull it back effectively because it was well blocked by Davis, but Liverpool do have the first corner of the night.
Again, that running behind. This time for Bradley, it's from right to left, inside of the pitch. No midfielder tracking the run again. I just feel like this is going to keep happening time and time again, and they only need one they only need to get it right once, and it's a goal. I am concerned for how Spurs are just starting to play.
Robertson making a darting run in towards the near post. A little flick header from him, then off the top of Danso's head. Kinski comes out and spills it, but it's cleared from behind him by Bissouma. Kinski has gone down hurt inside his 6-yard box. There was a clash between him and Ben Davies as both players attacked the same ball. Kinski saw it slip through his fingers, and then contact made, I think, with the head of Davis. The play has to stop so both of them can receive treatment.
Again, 5 seconds and we'll be fine. Again, this is something that really irritates me. Goalkeepers go down and we stopped instantly. There's nothing wrong. The best at doing it is Emi Martinez. Whenever he makes a mistake, he goes down, the referee blows. There's nothing wrong. Just play the game. I know we have to look after people with head injuries, and I'm fully aware of that. But we're really in a situation where games will start being stopped more than there's been played, because everyone just goes down now. We need to stop people.
Well, on that occasion, Kinski was fine. Davis doesn't need... Oh, he does need treatment. Spurs medical staff are being waved on. Davis has got a cut, actually, just below the hairline, pretty much in the centre of his face. And as a result, that's going to be patched up. Kinski's fine, though.
No, but you see he's up and there's no problem in Ben Davis. It's Kinski who went down because he dropped the ball from going up to try and win it. So this is the bit I'm trying to get to. It's annoying because the goalkeeper goes down, but it's actually a centre-half who needs medical attention. And again, it's not anything bad. Ben will be fine in about 10 seconds, a little bit of Vaseline on it. But we keep stopping the game, and I just worry where the state of this game is going to go in the next 5-10 years. It's going to end up being, passive and I'll just let you shoot, and if you score, then that's great. But if you don't, then we can attack. Football's made on big contacts. And having a lesser team being able to bully and intimidate a bigger team. That's why the Premier League and the Championship, in my opinion, have been so successful over the time. We've got great players, but we've had hard, tough players that have made the game really enjoyable. Now, when you're seeing this is embarrassing at times.
Well, we're 14 minutes in, and I would imagine we're probably already going to have 3 minutes added on at the end of this first half, possibly 4. The time does get played, but it becomes increasingly fragmented. But I mean, this is an obligatory stoppage because of the blood for Ben Davis. He has to be sorted out.
If you are Spurs, though, this is a little bit better for them, because if you remember the first game in the first leg, Bentancur obviously went down and we was all very worried for him at that moment. Thankfully he's back and playing, but that huge stoppage in play knocked Liverpool's momentum and absolutely made Spurs grow into the game and grow to believe. So you'd have to take a little bit of heart from that they can go on and now stop the play here. But I just think what it's doing at Anfield is it's infuriating this crowd, it's infuriating the players, and it's going to make them play to a level that you probably can't keep up with.
So play resumed, the ball dropped towards Kinski, who waited for a Liverpool player to come and engage. Nunez put the pressure on. Kinski then head back inside his own 6-yard box, picked it up, and Spurs eventually get it forward. Davis has got a new, clean, pristine white shirt on and is now waved back on, and the ball has just been kept in front of us by Cody Gakpo, and he can lay it back via Van Dijk towards Kelleher. Now Konate's got it. Curtis Jones made a really good run forward through the midfield. They're trying to get in between Danso and Gray, but the pass wasn't forthcoming. Liverpool mopping things up easily in the midfield with Gravenberch. It's 0-0. We played 16 minutes here on Talksport. Ball down towards Cody Gakpo again. He rolls across Curtis Jones. He's done well to put his foot in. Richarlison able to bring it away. Gravenberch just leans into him, eases into the ground. Good free kick to concede. It's 20 yards outside the penalty area and almost dead centre.
Much better from Richarlison. That's what they need, Jim. They need him looking after the ball and then being positive. He gets it on the half turn, just drives forward. As soon as he feels a little bit of contact from Gravenberch, goes down. Good play for his team and puts him in a position now, hopefully, where we can mention Son's name. So I've just remembered he's actually playing and we're 15 minutes in.
Yeah, he's hardly been involved so far. Stands over this free kick himself here. Kelleher has dispensed with the wall, and Son just chipping the ball over towards the left-hand side of the box, and it took a touch off Konate, then hit Bradley and goes behind for a corner. The first to Spurs, and it'll be taken in front of the Cop over on the left-hand side. Still 0-0 on the night. Richarlison making his way towards the 6-yard box. Watched every step of the way by Conor Bradley. Spurs fans away to our left-hand side with the plaintive cries of "Come on, you Spurs." All the action down the opposite end of the ground from where they're housed at the moment. Son just moving one of the pitch side microphones very reverentially, just putting it down in front of the hoardings in front of the Cop to make sure he's got a clear run towards the ball here. Addresses it, hits it right-footed. It's an easy header away at the near post by Darwin Nunez. The Spurs will mop up with Bentancur, playing it back and then driven forward by Spence, but straight through towards Kelleher, and great vision from him to pick the ball up, bowled it out quickly for Szoboszlai. Through the midfield from him to Ryan Gravenberch. Now towards Conor Bradley, Liverpool's right back making his way forward. Just deposits the ball at the feet of Salah and then runs on out towards the touchline. Salah taking over, goes back through the centre circle of Van Dijk. Konate Back out towards Mo Salah again. Bradley ahead of him this time as the two work that right-hand touchline in tandem. And Salah clipping it with the outside of his right boot. Sees it come off Spencer, go out of play for the throw. Liverpool in a hurry to keep the game moving as best they can. We're 18 goalless minutes in. It's out of play for a throw that will be taken by Andy Robertson. Throws it back here for Dominic Szoboszlai. Now another good run coming from the midfield by Bradley that none of the Spurs midfielders have picked up. Son just let him run in past him. Salah's got the ball. Back for Bradley here near the corner of the penalty area. He's immediately forced away and has been given a free kick. I think Spurs felt that should have gone the other way. That Sarr wasn't the guilty party, was the aggrieved rather than the aggressor there, but it is a free kick which Liverpool will take about 10 yards from the corner of the box.
And that's a big difference there when you've got Bradley playing, Jim, as opposed to Trent, because as Salah left that ball there, Trent normally would just whip that in blind. He doesn't have to look, and it allows for Spurs to get a little bit higher, allow for the press. When Trent's playing, you don't want to move out because you don't want to give him that space just to put it in that channel in between the goalkeeper and the back four.
Robertson, the furthest advanced of the Liverpool players, standing in a deliberately offside position by the penalty spot, hoping that the Spurs back line are going to drop. They do as the ball comes in. Spence heads it away. Szoboszlai, whose delivery was just a little bit too low, then makes sure, plays the percentages, goes all the way back for Kelleher, who's controlled it just outside the D. Well, bearing in mind that it's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things that Liverpool put 6 past Tottenham, I think Ange will be delighted with the solid defensive foundation that's been laid tonight, because Kinski hasn't had an awful lot to do through the opening 20 minutes.
Absolutely. It just looks like it's one of those games where Spurs are trying to manage. They've done the first 15-20 minutes really well. They're trying to manage it stage by stage. They need to have a little bit more with the ball. I'm just looking at my notes that I've said here. When they've got the ball, especially in the fullback areas, they need to switch play through the midfield. So into Bentancur, who's holding, and then out to the opposite 8. Liverpool are doing that to them all the time, but Liverpool do it throughout the back four. They move you from left to right, and what that does, Jim, it tires you out the legs, it tires out the mind. For Spurs to believe that they can do something, they need to play through the lines, open out and stretch Liverpool, because Liverpool try and press on one side of the pitch, and if you can get out the opposite side, that'll leave Son and Kulusevski 1v1.
Here's Cody Gakpo down towards the left-hand corner flag, pulls it back for Curtis Jones, coming in off the left flank, back for Gakpo again, nudging it towards Jones, square across the edge of the penalty area for Bradley. Bradley moving it out towards the right-hand touchline. Salah there waiting patiently. Now Bradley fires it in first time. Robertson coming round the back, but well watched by Gray, who got his dark head to it and knock it away, and out of play for another corner.
Really, really good header, and I think that's why they've put him in over Pedro Porro. He's in a wonderful position, Archie Gray, just inside the post. He's marking Jones and Gakpo, but as that ball is going over his head, he's not been lazy. He's back shuffled and got ahead just before Robertson gets it. Otherwise, I think that would have been a goal.
That's it. Troy Deeney here on Talksport. 21 minutes in, it's 0-0. A Liverpool corner, their second. Szoboszlai swinging it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Again, a disappointing set-piece delivery from the Hungarian. Richarlison easily able to just head it away, and that allows Spurs immediately to push out. Danso and Davis, the two centre-halves, just got themselves the wrong way round for a moment. Not in a position to switch back quite yet. There's Szoboszlai driving, working the angle, right-footed effort, well blocked by Davis. Van Dijk, Gravenberg, and that one blocked as well, this time by Danso, who got the arms down by his side to make sure that there was no danger that was going to be a penalty given against him. It was good defending. Kulusevski then can't hold it up, and the ball comes off him and goes out of play for a Liverpool throw.
Really good really good defending from Spurs. Both occasions for Davis and Danso, none of them throwing their arms in and leaving it away from the body. Got there, got strong, made themselves as big as possible without allowing anything to hit off their arms. Really good defending. Just think Kulusevski and Son need to offer a little bit more. I really do. I think when they get out at Spurs, they're the out balls, but Kulusevski looks like he loses a bit of his speed when he's on the outside, as opposed to being a centre mid. He drives you 30, 40, 50 yards up the pitch. On that wide area, he looks a little bit lost. It looks like he can only go one way.
Well, listen, to a large extent, it is needs must because of the injury problems that they've got, and picking 17-year-old Mikey Moore tonight would have been a really big call. That would have allowed Kulusevski to move into the middle. Certainly his best football this season has come in one from the wide position that he has tonight, but as I say, such has been the depth of the injury problems that Spurs have suffered, you can understand why Kulusevski has been operating laterally back out on the right wing again. The ball is in the hands of his goalkeeper Anthony Kinski, who made his debut in the first leg. A couple of wonderful saves from him as he kept a clean sheet. Here's Danso striding forward through the midfield now, passing the ball to his left-hand side for Salah in the yellow boots. Worked out towards Jed Spence on the overlap, ball in from him. Kanate there to dig it clear from the edge of the 6-yard box. And it goes out towards the far touchline where Salah has inadvertently given away a corner. He was trying to play it back towards Bradley, but he missed him. And it's gone out for a second Spurs corner of the night.
The first time they've done it though, Jim, coming out on the right-hand side with Danso. He plays the ball, gets a 1-2, and then they switch position play from left to right really, really quickly. And that's what you have to do against Liverpool. You know Salah's not going to defend. Try and get that overload and try and get something from that left-hand side of Tottenham Hotspurs.
Liverpool broadly defending zonally from within the 6-yard box, although Danso has got a man on him as the corner comes in. It's taken a near post flick, hooked back towards the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool should be able to get it away. They can. Counter-attack could be on with a good ball. It's a half decent ball. Second one not bad in towards Szoboszlai, but difficult actually for him to control it at the pace at which it came, drilled at his thigh. And Spurs turn it over, and now they will try and bring it forward quickly. Bissouma forced to go square because Richarlison, who he wanted to play, was offside. It's gone towards Sarr. Sarr working it forward. Son made a run, but he made it in behind 3 Liverpool defenders, which made the pass towards him very difficult, and Liverpool can clear it.
Really, really weird choices of pass from Sarr there. Son's made a decoy run, which has taken 2 Liverpool defenders straight down, and Richarlison just to his left. Didn't even look at him once. I think Spurs got to be a little bit braver now going forward and have a little bit more belief.
Oh, Gravenberch's done well. Great persistence and strength, setting up Salah, deflected inside the area and wide of the diving Kinski out to play for a corner. In the end, seeing that if he got a touch on it, he might just push it straight into the path of Nunez, he withdrew his hand, played the percentages, and thinks that a corner will be better to face.
Really good play from Liverpool, breaking it up again. It's Gravenberch who gets onto it, plays it to Salah, and I was just thinking he's going to cut in off that left right hand side onto his left foot and shoot again. I think so were Spurs. They all backed off and it allowed him to try and play a little cute slide rule pass into Nunez. Thankfully a Spurs defender got back, kicked off the toe, just went to the right side of the post.
Liverpool work this corner short. Szoboszlai inside the penalty area goes to Jones, back outside the penalty area for Gravenberch. Bradley trying to tease one in for Salah. That's easily headed away by Spence. Good ball by Van Dijk. And then Danso will clear. Back in from Salah. Sarr should be able to bring it away. He rides the challenge of Mo Salah and then takes on one too many. It's been won back by Jones. Nunez to his right. Szoboszlai urged to shoot. Thinks better of it. Plays it down towards the left-hand touchline. Jones lets it run. Robertson hooks his foot around it. It's left by Nunez. It's Gakpo. Can he get the ball out from underneath his feet? By the time he does, Spurs have bodies back. Nunez got a shot in that was blocked, and now Spurs will be able to bring it away on the counter with Richarlison, who finds Kulusevski. Liverpool have got so many bodies back, and Spurs labouring in getting the cavalry in support of the Swede, who's held it up down by the corner flag. He's got a corner out of that, which is brilliant, because he had nothing to aim at whatsoever. As the best he could possibly have hoped for.
That was 9 versus 2 in Liverpool's favour there. I'm just watching the Spurs players. They look dead on their feet. The transition's happening, and all the Spurs midfielders cannot get up to play. Son can't get up to play. That's really poor, especially when you look at Liverpool have managed to get everybody back. But from a Spurs point of view, the defending has been excellent today. Last man defending, staying there, valiant for the cause, making sure this ball will not pass on my watch. That's a really good positive sign.
Well, what can they have at the other end? Corner in towards the near post is probably the best of the corners we've seen so far. Still headed away, but it was hit in with venom and swerve. was headed clear and out for a throw, but it was a better delivery by Deki Kulusevski. So we're 28 minutes in. It's 70-30 possession in Liverpool's favour, but about 70% possession has only resulted in one attempt on target so far. That's a victory for Tottenham.
Absolutely, and I just think when you...
Gray, Richarlison, Kulusevski pulling it back towards the edge of the box, but towed away towards Szoboszlai, and now Liverpool might be able to break quickly. They'll work it out towards the right-hand side for Salah. First time ball from him was poor and easily knocked away by Ben Davies.
I just worry, when Spurs do go forward and they turn it over the way that they just did there, they just can't react to the quick 1-2, and that midfield space just comes open so quickly, Jim, for whoever wants to run in there.
Curtis Jones knocking it back through the midfield for Ryan Gravenberch. Van Dijk briskly through the midfield towards Conor Bradley, and now out to the Liverpool right for Mo Salah. With Talksport, it's still 0-0 on the night, and 1-0 to Tottenham on aggregate from that first leg a month ago. Curtis Jones out towards Cody Gakpo, left hand side of the penalty area. It's a great turn, pirouettes, good ball inside the box, headed towards goal, and Kinski can save from Nunez. It just lacked for either power or direction, really. It was little more than an aerial pass back.
Yeah, it was a tough one though for him, Jim. Gakpo does excellently down this left hand side, and he gets onto that left foot, and he stands a soft one up where you have to, as a striker, get the power, generate the power yourself and the placement, but he was in between two Liverpool defenders, and I just think he did the best he could get it on target there. But Liverpool are just suffocating Spurs when they have the ball. A lot of these Spurs midfielders need to come and get the ball, show that they're hiding a little bit.
Oh, good ball inside the box, and there is the aggregate equaliser, only to be denied by an offside flag. Szoboszlai waves a finger at the assistant referee. Of course it's going to be checked. Michael Salisbury is the VAR. Dan Robotham, the assistant referee, over on the far touchline. We're just having another look at it. The decision is absolutely correct. It's a marginal one, but you can tell by the naked eye, having seen the replay, that assistant referee Robotham got it absolutely right, and Szoboszlai was offside.
Yeah, but it's that same run though, Jim. It's a midfield run that's running beyond the midfield and beyond the centre-backs, and no one's picking up the run. Thankfully that time for Spurs, they just got the timing of it with Szoboszlai and Salah by about half a second off, otherwise that would have been a goal.
Son trying to thread the ball through. Richarlison was waiting on the corner of the penalty area. Spurs yet to have a single shot on or off target, but when it comes down to it, it is a night when it's their defensive rearguard action that is going to be imperative. They will be at Wembley without a single shot tonight if they can keep a clean sheet. Another third man run forward through the midfield from Liverpool player. This time it's Conor Bradley, but Van Dijk either didn't see him or didn't see him in time to play the ball over the top. 0-0 tonight. Now the cup football doesn't stop here. This is just the start of it. We've got 11 games from the FA Cup this weekend, including both Liverpool and Spurs games on Talksport on Sunday. Reds down in Devon. They go to Plymouth in a game that you won't hear anywhere else on national radio. That's at 3, and it's followed at 5:30 by Spurs' trip to Villa. Cup action all getting underway at Old Trafford tomorrow as Manchester United host Leicester tomorrow night. Man City are at Lake Orient Saturday lunchtime. We'll also be bringing you FA Cup game day live from 2:15. Birmingham Newcastle at 5:45, and Brighton Chelsea from 8. Liverpool win a corner. They've taken it quickly and short. Robertson curving inside the penalty area, and coming onto it was Salah. And I don't know whether he's caught in two minds, whether to really drill it across the face of goal or whether to pull it back, and in the end he's just let it hit his right instep, and it's just ballooned over the bar and straight out of play into the Spurs fans.
No, I think you're right, but unfortunately he's got to go across goal for somebody else. Actually it's his shin pad. He just gets the technique wrong and he just goes flying over. I'm just listening and feeling the crowd. There's an anxiety building at Anfield, and this is perfect for Spurs. They've got to get through this next 20 minutes just to get to half-time and make sure that they're ready. I feel like there's going to be, 7 minutes added on? 5, 6? It's been a long time, a lot of people going down. Basuma down again. But I do think the longer this game goes on like this, the new Mantel will be thinking, I'm going to get chances here.
Yeah.
Because we haven't heard Son, we haven't heard Kulusevski. Mikey Moore will be really happy, but I just want your opinion, Jim. Do you feel that it's a tactic from Liverpool to do that third man run? Because everyone's doing it, every single player's doing it. It looks like something they've identified with Spurs don't track runners.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned earlier, they've only got to get it right once, but Bradley is making some excellent runs forward from right back. And so far, they haven't been able to get the quality of the pass down the inside right channel right for it. Liverpool will bring it forward again here with Jones. Richarlison winning it back. Kulusevski back for Bissouma, who was down for 30 seconds or so. Back on his feet now. He's giving it the ball away. Gravenberch finding Salah. Salah clipping it in. Right footed from Gakpo. Anfield erupts. And it's the League Cup specialist that does it again. Drilled in from the left-hand side of the penalty area. After the ball found him, no Spurs player near him, and he had time to pick his spot into the bottom left-hand corner. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0, and we're dead level on aggregate inside the first half of this second leg.
Great play there for Liverpool, but again, Jim, it starts with Bissouma giving the ball away sloppily and cheaply. I'm just watching Postecoglou in front of me. Spurs had the ball. It's a simple 5-yard pass from left to right. Plays it behind Salah. You can't do that at Anfield. It goes wide to Salah. He puts it out, lovely outside of the foot crossing. Misses an initial target in Darwin Núñez. Breaks away to Gakpo. Lovely hit on the half volley outside of the right foot. Straight past Kinski. No chance. Also, game on.
There have been 25 occasions this season in League and Cup where Liverpool have scored the first goal. They have won 24 of those 25. Just the one defeat, which came at PSV last week. It's a good record that they've got. Spurs, remember, only need a draw tonight. It stays this way, extra time and penalties on the agenda, but still 10 minutes of this first half to go. We think it'll be stretched out by another 5 because of stoppage time, and then 45 minutes after that. Advantage Liverpool now with that goal from Cody Gakpo. You know, since Gakpo signed for the club, the leading scorer in the League Cup anywhere has got 4 goals. Gakpo's got 9 in this competition, so he's got more than any other 2 players in the League Cup put together since he signed for the club. It's an extraordinary record, 9 and 11 in this competition, including a big one tonight. Núñez making a run down the right-hand side of the box, and he's watched every step of the way by Ben Davies down towards the corner flag. He's done well, then pulls it back to Conor Bradley. Liverpool sensing that they've got their foot on Tottenham's throat at the moment, trying to work the ball back through the midfield with Van Dijk. Down he goes towards Robertson. 9 minutes to go to half-time. And it's 1-0 to Liverpool here on Talksport and on Sirius XM FC. Little ball inside the penalty area. Gray to Kulusevski. Rolling it down the right-hand touchline. It's just gone out. And it's going to be a throw to Liverpool, who are good value for the 1-0 lead on the night.
Absolutely. The sad part for me is I feel that the way that things are going with Spurs, they've not come out with a belief that they can get this done. They're trying to just hope Liverpool don't score.
Gakpo, the Gravenberch, and then clipped in first time by Salah. Kinski coming to meet it, and at that time it was clean handling. Made sure that he didn't hit one of his defenders on the way down, and he can just calm things down before getting the ball back upfield. 36 gone, 1-0 Liverpool.
I just think it's important, Jim, to just...
he's given away. Kinski bowling it out. Look for Bentancur, he rolled it straight past him. Gravenberch picking it up. Back for Cody Gakpo. Right footed, clipped in. Hits Bissouma, comes back out to Gravenberch. He'll go back towards Virgil van Dijk. And if they conceded from that, then Postecoglou would have been having the proverbial kittens on the bench. That was not dissimilar to the one that Anthony Gordon scored from last night. The ball played inside the penalty area here. Gakpo, left-hand side of the box. Jones went to ground. Play goes on. Gakpo to Robertson, first time ball in from him. Danso can stoop and head that one away. And towards Virgil van Dijk. Canate plays it forward to the Liverpool right hand side. Salah for Bradley, and it's well shepherded over the dead ball line by Davis for a goal kick to Spurs. It's 1-1 on aggregate.
I'm really struggling to see who's the leaders for Spurs now. Who's saying calm down? I know the manager said we've got to play this way in this style. they've just been under the cosh. You've just let a goal in again. The keeper just played one straight to the Liverpool midfield, and Ben Davies has literally just put his hand on the ball and played within 5 seconds. No one set up, but guess what? Liverpool get the ball back again. I think it's really important to try and paint the picture to the listener. When you're looking at this from our vantage point where we are now, everything's being played in the Tottenham half. Every single player's there apart from Kelleher. Every time Spurs break out, it is 5v1 against Richarlison in Liverpool's favour. That means Spurs have got loads of players standing there doing nothing. It's remarkable. You need to go and make a tackle. You need to do something. They're just filling into little slots and areas, and they're not actually affecting the game or the ball. Great tackle.
Now he's Bradley with it. Spence is going to be able to pick up the loose ball, and Bradley's tenacity, has it won him a corner? It has. Listen to the roar of approval from the Liverpool supporters, and that was just chasing a lost cause.
That's the difference between the two teams. Son, who we haven't mentioned other than once this game, tries to run it past Salah and Bradley. Bradley comes in, tenacity, bang, have that, and then he chases down his second one with Jed Spence as well. Probably not a Liverpool corner, if I'm being totally honest, but his tenacity and his work rate deserves that, in my opinion.
Szoboszlai's gone across to take the corner over on the far touchline, the Liverpool right-hand side. The bearded Hungarian drives it in. It's headed away by Archie Gray. And Gravenberch mop up and go back for Bradley, down to this near touchline of Liverpool left-hand side for Curtis Jones. High up and under from him inside the penalty area that Kinski comes out and catches, but the flag is up. And it's a free kick to Spurs for the offside. 1-0 to Liverpool on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. I think irrespective of what happens here, it's going to make for a very interesting listen on the way home tonight on the Sports Bar. Jamie and Jason on 03717223344. What will Jamie's reaction be if his beloved Spurs are eliminated tonight? You can get involved yourself after another big night in the Carabao Cup and have your say on the Sports Bar tonight. 1-0 to Liverpool at the moment, 1-1 the aggregate score. Spurs able to bring the ball forward. Sliding challenge coming in. Konate then steps up from the defensive line, gets it away from Son. Spurs have lost their shape defensively for a moment. Another opportunity for Salah on the right-hand side of the penalty area. It's pulled back towards Gravenberch, rides the initial challenge that comes in. He's round the second, he drives it in. It's deflected away by Spence, and out of play for another corner. And Arne Slot will be wanting a second goal here. Such is Liverpool's dominance. He won't want Spurs to still be level on aggregate going in at half-time. There's going to be another corner which will be taken over on that Liverpool right-hand side. It's their fifth of this first half. Gakpo making a darting run towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It goes over his head. The ball brought down by Salah, who killed it with his first touch. Played it back for Jones outside the penalty area with his second. Gravenberch goes back out towards Szoboszlai again. He's faced up by Richarlison. He's strode past him easily. Little reverse ball that Bentancur got in the way of. I don't know that he necessarily read it. Spurs are going to be able to clear. Richarlison through the midfield. Bentancur down towards Kulusevski. It does get there. The ball saw Robertson just take the pace off the delivery by sticking out a left foot. And that meant that Kulusevski, by the time he got it, hadn't got verdant green grass to drive into. Liverpool with their shape back, and Spurs will come again in the next phase of play. But Kulusevski's got it again. Gray making a run ahead of him, so too Richarlison. It opens up for Kulusevski, and Spurs' first shot of the night ends up 15 rows back in the Kop.
Yes, it's really good play from Danzo, actually. He sets a tempo. He goes back to Kinski in the initial build-up where Liverpool got back and recovered well, but then he shows and offers again. As soon as he gets it on the edge of the area on the right-hand side, turns and punches a really fizzy ball into Kulusevski, who then turns and he's driving at the back line of Liverpool. A little bit more brave, a little bit better from Spurs. I've just written on my notes, Jim, the midfield for Spurs, poor. And just got to do something at half-time. They're getting ran over and they're not even doing well with the ball. They just keep giving the ball away. And secondly, the midfield runners for Liverpool have got to be shown a few clips and just say, just keep going, because you're going to get in 1v1 at some point. This midfield battle is all Liverpool at this moment in time. And how many times have we seen 50-50s that should have probably gone in Spurs' favour, and Liverpool have won every single one? Son had one, Gravenberch has come through him very easily, then gone to Saar 50-50, gone through him easily. you've got to win your battles, and that's the basics of football. And at this moment in time, it is all Liverpool, and it's only going to end up with Liverpool scoring 2, 3 and 4 goals.
Well, it's interesting you talk about that midfield, Troy, because this is what Spurs' 38th game of the season in all competitions. It's the first time these three have started together. Bissouma, Bentancur and Sarr. Last time they started together was here at Anfield back in the back end of last season, and they shipped him 4 that day.
Yeah, you can see why, because just looking down it, you don't know who's the holding midfielder. They're all in a perfect line, all 3 of them. There's no breakaway from any of them. There's not one's a 6 and there's 2 8s. All 3 of them in the same line. So when Liverpool run past them, it's just running into an empty space, and they don't have the legs to get back, and it's really poor. I think Richarlison's gone down. He's injured again.
I'll tell you something, the way that he's smacking the ground in frustration would have you believe that this is potentially more serious than others. Here's Konate. He's able to play on. It's up to the referee to stop the game. It's not up to Liverpool. Jones working down towards the left-hand side for Cody Gakpo, tonight's goal scorer. Good ball inside the area. Left-footed volley. And Kinski helps it on its way over the bar. Well met by Salah. He sent a bouncing bomb into the deck. And Kinski threw up a left-hand at it. And it will be a corner, but only after the referee has run most of the length of the pitch back towards the Kop to see what Richarlison's problem is.
It looks like his calf's gone, and the problem Richarlison's got is all of the work that he did in the first couple of minutes of winding up and going down is now coming back to bite him on the backside. I'm actually feel really sorry for him. He can't catch a break, and again we're going to say, oh, by the way, there's another injury for Spurs, but how many times are we going to see players coming back and getting injured again? They must be doing something on the training pitch or in the medical staff, because they keep breaking down, Jim. This is not 1 or 2. This is like 14, 15 injuries now. You can make an argument for ACLs in Dragons. You can't do anything about that. Vicario with his ankle. But so many soft tissue injuries, and now you're having to bring on your new signing with what? A minute and a half left of normal time going into injury time, which now is 7 minutes because of how many stoppages. He's not up to speed. That's why you put him on the bench. But you're having to throw these people in because of poor, in my opinion, poor management from the sports scientists and the physio room. You can't keep having these injuries. You've got to look into it. You have to look into it.
So Richarlison is making his way off the field. He's only made his first Premier League starts in 8 months over the last 10 days. And he doesn't have a goal-scoring night at Anfield tonight, a ground where he's got such a good record. But he leaves the field, and Mathys Tel comes on to replace him. Well, here's a chance to make yourself an instant hero. 19-year-old that they signed on loan from Bayern with a £45 million option. And Tel comes on as we start 7 minutes of added time. We started with another Liverpool corner. Szoboszlai in towards the near post. It's headed away. Comes back out for him again. He got there ahead of Bentancur. Sends a high up and under that the goalkeeper should have caught. And instead he just punched it away. Straight out for another corner. Wasn't even a good punch. It's come off the side of his hand. Gone behind for a corner. And no shout for him there, quite clearly, because there was nobody coming in. It was an easy, routine catch for him.
But Jim, just go and catch it. You don't have to go and punch it, and if you're going to punch it, don't punch it out for a corner. Honestly, Spurs are trying to press the self-destruct button at this moment in time. How can we make it more difficult for us? You got a couple of minutes left. Come and catch it, go down, just kill the game. You got a new man in, and they go, no, you know what we'll do, we'll make it even more difficult for us, Jim. That's what we'll do.
Robertson to take this latest corner, which is Liverpool's 7th. Plenty of whip on that, but it's easily headed away by Bentancur at the near post. 1-0 on the night to Liverpool, 1-1 on aggregate, with Bergvaul's goal from last month being cancelled out tonight by Cody Gakpo. Bradley goes back for Kelleher, and he'll work it out towards the right-hand side of the box. So, not the circumstances really for Tel to play. He is playing through the middle. He's a very versatile player, can play off either wing, prefers the left, but through the middle as well. His last goal on the last day of last season. Van Dijk almost embarrassed there by Kulusevski. In fact, Spurs have got possession back. Ball worked down towards Sarr. Sarr for Spence, and back again. And then Patsar put under pressure by Cody Gakpo. He's more than happy to work it back inside his own half for Antonin Kinski. Kinski with a right-footed ball over the top, looks like offside against Son. Play goes on for now. His first touch actually made the flag academic. He was offside. It does come up against him anyway. We played the first 3 of the 7 additional minutes. Liverpool 1, Spurs 0 the score. And the ball is worked out towards that Liverpool right-hand side again for Salah. Liverpool just calming things down. It's not a relentless tempo by any stretch of the imagination. They cannot go up through the gears very quickly. When they've got it as they have at the moment inside their own half, they're more than happy just to try and draw the Tottenham press.
But you see what they're doing now, they're just keeping it across the back, but it's making Kulusevski think he can get it, so he's gone running after it. Bentancur's gone running after it, and it allows space just in behind. So for Liverpool, this is a perfect opportunity now to go and get a second, because for some reason with a few minutes left, when Spurs should be sitting in and waiting and just go, let's get to half time, they're going the opposite way.
Bradley clipping it in, Jones attacking it, got his head to it, and it's deflected away from his header, out of play for corner number 8, which will be taken over on the Liverpool right hand side.
Good defending from Jed Spencer. They switched over for the corner, and he's just done his job really well, because again that's Curtis Jones running beyond the midfield, beyond the centre back, but he goes inside and gets the head on it. Feels like there's another one coming now, doesn't it, Jim?
Well, Spurs desperately need it not to come before half time. In comes this latest corner, and that's swung actually outside the penalty area, bounces on the edge of the box. There was much more whip on that than Dominic Szoboszlai intended. Bradley plays it back out, well, I was going to say to Szoboszlai, almost in his general direction. It was Bradley's worst touch of the night, straight out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Kinski away to our left hand side. Not just live football here on the Talksport network, of course. We've got the commentary rights to the massive rematch between Beterbiev and Bivol for the undisputed light heavyweight world titles. That's February the 22nd. Some card as well, one of the very best, with Daniel Dubois against Joseph Parker, Hamza Shiraz, Joshua Boazzi, all in action on the undercard. That's coming up for you on the Talksport network, your home of boxing. Now we've also got a choice of listening for you tonight over on Talksport 2. Right now, Arsenal just equalised from the penalty spot in the early stages of the second half. Mariona Caldante. Arsenal 1, Manchester City 1 in the Women's League Cup semi-final tonight. Here at Anfield, it's 1-0 to Liverpool. A 5.5 goal in the second half. If you know Alan Brazil, you might want to know the score in that game at Boreham Wood tonight. It was a lively breakfast show this morning, I think it's fair to say. And big man back with Ray Parler tomorrow morning from 6, and Barry Hearn's going to be on the show as well with the pair of them. That's from 6 tomorrow morning here on TalkSport Breakfast. There's Kelleher, plays the ball out towards the right hand side for Konate. Back he goes for Kraveen Kelleher again. Another just run from a midfielder or a defender. It was Robertson that time, trying to get in between Gray and Danso. The quality of the ball wasn't all that it might have been, and in fact the offside flag was up against him. So Spurs have a free kick midway inside their own half. 1-0 to Liverpool in the last minute or so of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Troy?
A huge moment in Ange Postecoglou's Spurs career of what can he do to tweak and change his team. If it carries on like this, as I said earlier, with no exaggeration, it's going to be 3 or 4-0 to Liverpool, because they're just going to make changes, add a little bit more value. At the moment, Spurs are caught between trying to play and people hiding, and you can't carry anybody in this something. This midfield is being ran all over, being passed all over. I'm really interested to hear what Jamie's got to say about this on the way home, to be totally honest with you, as a midfielder that used to play there. But for right now,
Salah finds Bradley, and as he won another corner, there's a little double ricochet. It's out of play for a goal kick.
Half time.
And that is half time, a half in which Liverpool have been completely dominant. Just the one goal to show for it, and Spurs hanging in there through the opening half hour or so would have been happy at the relative shortage of opportunities that Liverpool were creating. But the longer the half went on, the more the chances came. We get to half time, 11 shots to 1 in Liverpool's favour. Just the one goal from Cody Gakpo. It's 1-1 on aggregate with 45 minutes to come. Hugh? And there are no more changes in personnel. Spurs not making any substitutions now. Brought Tell on for Richarlison at the end of the first half. The ball is with Kelleher. We're back underway. Liverpool in all red, kicking from left to right towards the Kop, leading 1-0 on the night. It's 1-1 on aggregate after Cody Gakpo's goal on 34 minutes. But the bottom line is Spurs are still very much in it. Darwin Núñez towards the edge of the penalty area, clipping one in. It's Mo Salah onto his left foot. It might not be in it. They are still drilled in towards the bottom right-hand corner. And Kinski got down and got a left hand to it, was able to tip it away.
Good play again from Gakpo, but it's the same thing that happened before. That he's ran past 5 players. No one's laid a glove on him. Played a lovely ball inside to Núñez. Tries to help it onto Salah. It just about gets there. And Salah then takes a little touch on his left foot. Jed Spence can't dive in. It's a good save from Kaminsky just round the post. Interestingly though, Jim, Spurs have sent out Pedro Porro, Mickey Moore and Bergvall. So clearly looking at changes very quickly in this second half.
In comes Liverpool's corner in towards the near post. And it's repelled, put straight back out for another corner, which takes the corner count up into double figures. And Robertson will come across to take this latest one. Szoboszlai was on corner duty for most of the corners in the first half, but Andy Robertson measuring this one up. Left-footed, in-swinging towards the near post. Kinski got something on it, and it was a crucial stop. It might have been Szoboszlai that got the flick header at the near post. Kinski standing firm, threw up a hand, beat it away to keep the status quo. Liverpool come again on the other side of the penalty area with a low ball that was in. Danso clears that shot from Gakpo from in front of his goalkeeper. Goes back out for Cody Gakpo again. Liverpool with a good start to this second half as they look for the goal that will give them the lead overall in this tie for the first time. Bradley getting the ball and working it back here for Quaveen Kelleher.
All Liverpool again. Nothing's changed from that half-time team talk, and then especially from the little huddle from the Spurs just before they started. Interestingly, just looking down at Tell, screaming at his team to get forward, come and put some pressure on. Looks like he's got a little bit of character about him. I hope we get to see the best of him, not only tonight but moving forward.
Yeah, the 19-year-old had a warm-up about 3 or 4 minutes long before play resumed. Jed Spence battling here has won a free kick. The referee did his best to allow the advantage. Craig Pawson, there wasn't really any, and as a consequence Spurs get a free kick just inside their own half. Tell came out and had quite a vigorous warm-up and was doing his bit to try and whip the fans up as well. A very passionate young man, the 19-year-old. The bottom line is he has played 80-odd games for Bayern Munich in his career, and you don't do that as a teenager without having a prodigious amount of talent. Spurs trying to squeeze the ball through towards Kulusevski on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Robertson gets that one away, and it goes out of play for a throw that Spurs will take midway inside the Liverpool half, over on the far touchline. They've taken it quickly. They're back through the midfield towards Bissouma, and then Bentancur plays it back towards Kevin Danso.
Yeah, he's had a good start, Tell. We've mentioned him more than we have Son already in the first 10 seconds.
Salah, good ball inside the penalty area. Kinski came out. Now, did he withdraw his hands? No, he didn't. It is a penalty to Liverpool. He raced out for the ball that he stood little chance of getting. Darwin Núñez making his way forward. It's all about the touch from Salah. Delicious little ball with plenty of topspin on it. Núñez coming, and as soon as Kinski didn't make any contact, he was really struggling. Towed past him. Contact inevitable, and a penalty for Liverpool to take a 2-1 aggregate lead.
Self-destruct again from Spurs. Honestly, I'm getting tired of saying the same things. It's a simple pass from Salah just into the channel, allowing for Núñez to use his pace and running behind. That high line's too high again. Kinski already made his mind up that he was going to go down. Second Núñez takes a touch past him, he just leaves his legs there because he's nowhere near it. And the best part about it was before the referee had even blew his whistle, Kinski had already put his arm up to say he'd give away a pen. Spurs just pressing that self-destruct button. Mo Salah again with an opportunity for Liverpool to take the lead.
scored against Tottenham in the 2019 Champions League final. This penalty much more cut and dried than that one was. He stands in front of the Kop. Player who's got 14 goals against Spurs in his career, including 6 in his last 6. This to give Liverpool a 2-0 lead on the night and a 2-1 lead on aggregate with 50 minutes of the second leg play. He runs, hits it, left-footed, straight into the top left-hand corner. It's a brilliant penalty. Nerveless. And Anfield is delighted by the scenes of celebration right in front of the Kop. 2-0 up on the night, and a very good value for it. And Spurs have a man in decline now.
Wonderful, wonderful composure from Mohamed Salah. Great penalty, high to the right-hand side. No keeper saving that, even if it goes the right way. But honestly, just watching this Spurs team, that ball's gone in, they've scored. There's no one digging each other out. There's a lot of clapping and come on, maybe. It's the same, self-inflicted. But as we said beforehand, nothing has changed, and you expect this Liverpool team to come out and score a second and a third. It's took them 2.5 minutes to get into it. Jim, unfortunately, you can just see how this game's going to play out.
Well, Liverpool have gone through to the final on 2 of the last 3 occasions when they've lost the first leg of a League Cup semi, and it looks as though it may well happen again. Spurs have to be much more proactive now, chasing the game for the first time. Son beaten by Bradley, who then pokes it down towards Szoboszlai. And Konate may be guilty of just trying to overplay it a little bit. Then Bentancur loses out as Liverpool get it forward. Nunez, Salah in so much space on the right-hand side, making his way forward towards the edge of the area. Fashions the ball in with the outside of the left boot, and a way swinging delivery that Spurs can knock away, and then Spence wins the throw. The Spurs have got to completely change the game plan now. It can't be one of containment. They've got to come out and have a go.
Well, maybe that'll help them, but again, keep saying it, there's no midfield. They're just getting ran all over. By the way, Conor Bradley, who is a very, very good right-back, he's making Son look like a young man. It's men versus boys at this moment in time. And weirdly, as the game's gone to 2-0, a couple of Spurs players have stepped up. It's as if all the shackles have been taken off because they don't want any pressure. But Jed Spence has been excellent. The 2 centre-backs have been excellent. No midfield and nothing going forward, other than a young boy Tell, who's just come on and obviously he's trying to make an impression. But the rest of them, unfortunately, have been embarrassing for 52 minutes of this game. They have to step up, Jim. Have to.
Well, this time last week, Spurs were in action against Elfsborg, and although there was never really any danger that it was going to go wrong for Spurs that night, when they brought the youngsters on, they played with that freedom. And I just wonder whether you can make a case for more coming on. Maybe for Damola Rajai, moving Kulusevski into a more central position at 10, because it's not working for Spurs the way things are at the moment. And that's not to take anything away from Liverpool, who've been excellent, thoroughly professional in getting the job done, and they are getting it done at the moment. 16 shots to 1 in Liverpool's favour, 71% possession, and Spurs needing to score to give themselves any chance of staying in the competition are still yet to have a single shot on target. We're 9 minutes into the second half here on the great Talksport across the United Kingdom, Sirius XMFC across North America. And as things stand right now, it's going to be a Liverpool-Newcastle United final in the middle of March right here. Ball is over on the Spurs right, so wonderful turn from Kulusevski. One of his best moments of the game, a nice reverse ball as well. Matisse Tell, right-hand side of the penalty area, and he's only hit the side netting with a shot from a very tight angle. It has taken a touch on its way through, will be a Spurs corner. And the Tottenham players respond by trying to whip the crowd up again. It's going to be a double change. Bergvall and Porro are going to be brought on once this corner has been taken. Kulusevski, can he get the delivery right? Spots the ball down. Bit of pushing and shoving going on, involving Jones and Davis. Good delivery in from Kulusevski. Really good header away from Darwin Nunez. Took a step back, powered it clear from inside his penalty area. Spurs working with Bentancur, back for Spence. Spence to Sarr, still inside Liverpool territory. Spence with a heavy touch, his second became a tackle. Davis then lost that and has got to get back as quickly as he can, because Salah's got the ball at his feet, and Sarr's done well, just stood firm, and he stopped him finding a way through. Spurs winning possession back. Tell, who's got a big white bandage around his right wrist, does well to work it back towards Davis. He's covered a lot of ground. Then the ball goes out towards Gray. Gray with a hit and hope ball forward towards Kulusevski, which Robertson heads away, and it's out for a throw that'll be taken on the Spurs right. They're still, again in the final instructions, the two Spurs subs, and Ange hasn't made the changes yet, but I think they will at the next break in play. It's 2-0 to Liverpool on the night, 2-1 on aggregate, with 9 minutes gone in the second half.
Yeah, like I said to you, Jim, weirdly, at 2-0 down, Spurs have decided to play. It's like the shackles have come off. It's like a freedom. No worries now, because if we go out, at least we tried. Really disappointing, but it's a real clear insight as to the mind state of this Tottenham team. Yes, they're young, but they're immature. They're not a team that embraces pressure. And I think they're going to see a couple of changes now, with Pedro Porro probably going in at left back, and I'd expect to see the midfielder change as well. So the first one looks like Sarr for you, Jim.
So Sarr off and Bergvall on, and Porro is going to replace Bissouma. So you'd imagine Porro the right back, as Troy said, and Gray will come into the midfield, into his more favoured role. Son's just looking over and asking for clarification as to exactly what is happening, but Gray is making his way in.
It's a change. So Archie Gray's going at left back, Pedro Porro right back, and Jed Spence is going high right. So they're allowing Spence to use his pace and be a bit more direct.
And Kulusevski's playing at 10 as a result of that.
Yeah, was what you said. Sorry, just looking down on it. Interesting that Bissouma decided to go past the Spurs fans to show just how much he cares, so they all can give him a little clap. Not having him one bit, Jim. Not one bit.
Son finding Lucas Bergvall, who was the villain in Liverpool's eyes in that first leg, and the hero in Spurs. Ball goes out towards Spence on the right-hand side of the penalty area now for Tottenham. So will this rejigged formation and personnel be able to conjure something up? Ball inside the penalty area. Bradley calmly side foots it away through his penalty area. Spurs will build again from halfway with Davis, and he goes out towards the right-hand side. So Jed Spence, as Troy was saying, now playing on the right wing. Bergvall in the three in the centre of midfield. He's further advanced than Bentancur. They've got Kulusevski, the most advanced of the lot, playing at 10. Gray now at left back, going back for Kinski. Play 58. It's Liverpool 2, Tottenham 0. Spurs next in action away to Villa, live on Talksport in the FA Cup, and that's on Sunday. And it follows Liverpool's trip to Plymouth, which you won't hear anywhere else. The game's at 3 and 5:45 Sunday here on Talksport. Bentancur from distance. It's another shot, but it came closer to the Liverpool fans on the top tier of the Anfield Road end than it did to the top right-hand corner.
But already, Jim, the changes have made Spurs a bit more free, a bit more game. I just wonder whether Ange will be more suited putting Son through the middle. I know he doesn't like to play there, but they're getting out into the wide areas, and because Tal is naturally a 10 or a wide man, he's coming short for the ball and he can't make those runs into the box. I just think maybe change Son and Tell and allow for Son to say, because he's not getting any change out of Bradley, you go through the middle, just be in there when the ball comes.
Kinski put under pressure by Liverpool's vibrant press. And all he could do in the end was sweep it away and put it out for a throw that'll be taken on the Liverpool right-hand side by Conor Bradley. 2-0 to Liverpool. When Spurs were last here, they were 4 down inside an hour, and then came back in the final half hour of that to score twice. And what they give to be able to come back with 2 goals unanswered in the final half hour tonight is how to get the job done for them. At the moment, Liverpool have been the better side, lead 2-0 on the night and 2-1 on aggregate. Kelleher has got a really good record in this competition. 17 League Cup ties he's had. It's quite a high proportion, more than a quarter of the games that he's played for Liverpool in all competitions have come in this one. Back towards Ryan Gravenberch. Him to Konate. Bradley getting it back from Salah. Just playing round Son with ease there. Loose ball ricochets through the midfield, then off Bentancur to find Curtis Jones. Jones to Gakpo, left-hand side of the penalty area. Clipped in for Szoboszlai, and his header straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, Kinski.
It's kind of fallen back into that same pattern, hasn't it, Jim, of Liverpool dominance again. A couple of minutes of Spurs looking up for it, but oh God.
As Kinski side-footing the ball out to Ben Davies and straight past him for a throw. Kinski, the hero of that first leg, struggled at times tonight. Bradley, and in towards the near post from Nunez, and Kinski scrambling, might have had it covered, the ball going into the side netting.
Do you think the striker Tell is thinking, I probably should have stuck with my original decision of not coming to Spurs?
No, you cynic. Well, he knows he's going to get opportunities now. Just joining us, Richarlison going off with what looked like a calf problem in the latter stages of the first half. Still no Solanke. There's a chronic shortage of players in various departments for Spurs, but all of a sudden number 9 is a massive problem for them. I don't know whether Kulusevski as a 9 is something that we might see in the next few games or so. Szoboszlai in possession for Liverpool, plays it back for Conor Bradley, who played 61 minutes. Liverpool a goal up on aggregate now. Salah turning the ball forward, found himself sandwiched between Gray and Davis, and it was knocked away. Son then played it back towards Gray and put him under all kinds of pressure. All he could do was get a touch to concede a throw. Son's done him no favours there.
Again, I don't like to be nasty, but Son is surely only on this pitch due to reputation and what he's done before. He's done nothing. He's passing the blame whenever he gets the ball. Just passed it into Archie with 2 people around him. Said, you deal with that. Showed no bravery, no leadership to even try and run Conor Bradley. It's like he's come to the conclusion, this is not my day. That's why I said earlier to him, I think maybe just move him into the striker part. Allow Tau to come wide and drift in and make things happen.
Salah playing it forward. Another Liverpool goal here. Could be Spurs lights out. Very nearly came. Cody Gakpo flashing one through the 6-yard box. Nobody could get a touch.
I think he hits the post, you know, Jim. Salah coming in off that left-hand side, growing into the game now, into Szoboszlai, and he just lays a little ball into Gakpo. Really acute angle, lets that left-footed shot go, and he hits the post. He actually hits the post and comes out for a throw-in. Again, Spurs got to do something. Just looking down, one player in Mikey Moore out there. You've got to do something. You've got to have a little bit of a change now, because all of those pep talks and all of the coaches that were out are not here now helping as they once were before the game.
Salah to Bradley. Salah loses possession. Bentancur winning it back fairly. Played back by him to Kevin Danso. Danso turning, eventually able to get the ball out from underneath his feet to play down towards Ben Davis. Tell protecting the ball, going back towards Bentancur. Jones has won it back from him, and then Bentancur can't subsequently win it back from Gakpo, who wriggles away before the tall blonde-haired Swede Lucas Bergvall was in there to win it back. Ball over the top of Bradley's shoulder, who nervously looked over to see where it was going. Tell chasing after it. Bradley did well with enough of a head start to be able to shepherd the ball out of play for a throw down by the corner flag. A clear, brisk Merseyside night. Plenty to infuse the Liverpool fans, though. They lead by 2-0.
That little passage of play there is a perfect encapsulation of this game. Tottenham play really well, get it out, go into Tally, sets it back into Bentancur. The obvious pass is just give it to Jed Spence. Let him go 1v1 against Andy Robertson. He dallies on it, he dallies on it, he dallies on it. Curtis Jones, who had just gone from pressing the goalkeeper, runs 20-30 yards, makes it up, wins the ball back, and then Liverpool are on the counter-attack again. The Spurs midfield is a real problem.
Robertson to Gakpo. Gakpo with a little reverse. And Spurs red. Clearance down towards Son on the left-hand touchline, who in the end remedied the situation by nudging the ball into Bradley and out of play for a throw. He's got a good record, Son, against Liverpool. Well, he hasn't scored in either game against them this season. He did net in each of his previous 5 matches against them. He's moved above Alan Gilzean in Tottenham's all-time appearance list tonight. He's up into 8th on the Spurs list. This is 440th appearance for the club, but at the moment it's not one that he'll look back on with a great degree of fondness. Bergvall has got himself involved in a little bit of a wrestling match with Curtis Jones and conceded a free kick. Taken by Salah to Bradley to Konate. Liverpool, the current holders of this competition. And as things stand at the moment, they're going to have a chance to defend the cup and try and win it on an 11th separate occasion, extending their record, beating Newcastle on March the 16th at Wembley. You will, of course, hear the game live on the mighty Talksport. Kulusevski winning possession back. Darwin Núñez chasing after it, and he's done really well. Sticks his foot in the crowd, loving that. Has conceded a throw, but he's tracked back. And there's a great exhibition of industry to come and play almost as an auxiliary right back to deal with Kulusevski.
And there's the difference, Jim. There's no tiredness for Liverpool, by the way, who are winning and go for a quadruple. Their striker, who has come under pressure, let's be honest, is working back from a centre-forward position into the right-back position, running past players to go and get the ball, showing a desire to get back in. In my opinion, and again, sound really harsh, but Spurs are hiding. They're hiding now. They're still in this game. One more goal, Jim, turns it around, turns the whole tie around. You're looking, it looks and it feels as if Liverpool are 5-0 up. There's no belief here that from any Spurs players that they can go and win the game.
Davis heads the ball away. The latest long one played forward from the Liverpool midfield. And then Spurs get a free kick as Danso is caught by Jones. That's a free kick the Spurs will take, only about 10 yards outside their own box. We're midway through the second half. Tottenham have scored 4 goals in their last 2 games against Liverpool. They need 1 in the final quarter of this one to take the game to extra time. And I know you're aware, but there's no away goals these days in these League Cup semi-finals. Spence making his way forward, checks on the corner of the penalty area. This is promising for Tottenham. Spence from a tight angle, near post, put it wide of the near post and couldn't find Kulusevski, and it goes out of play for a goal kick that Kelleher will take. 2-0 to Liverpool with 68 minutes gone. 2 balls on the pitch just for a moment. Liverpool just indulging in a little bit, not a time wasting, but a little bit of match management, which is certainly an observation and not a criticism. Salah able to turn away easily from Davis, and then goes up through the gears and toe pokes it through towards Dominic Szoboszlai. Plenty of space on the left-hand side. The ball didn't get there, it was knocked away and put out of play by the retreating Bergvall for the latest in a long line of Liverpool corners. Don't forget the sports bar coming after us. 03717 22 33 44. Anybody seen Jamie O'Hara?
I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say on this. Do you get that feeling though, Jim, that sense of Spurs don't believe they can score?
I absolutely sense that Spurs don't believe they can score, which, when you consider how many league goals they have scored this season, averaging 2 a game, is uncharacteristic. In comes this latest in-swinging delivery, which is headed away and goes out of play for a goal kick. It was well attacked inside the 6-yard box by Konate, and he's down facing the ground, just holding his head for a moment. Szoboszlai comes across to make sure he's all right. I mean, Liverpool score the next goal, it is all over. But with it poised as it is, were Spurs to score, as things stand, it would take the game into extra time, and then they've certainly got a puncher's chance. It isn't all over yet. It feels as though it is. When you're looking at the dynamic of the game and sensing the atmosphere, it feels as though it's all over. But the reality in the scoreline is that it's anything but.
Yeah, and I think the best part to just show where Spurs are currently as opposed to Liverpool. Spurs have currently got 2 players coming on in Diego Jota and Harvey Elliott, and I think that shows just where they are in their circle of life and what they're trying to do. They can compete. When they make changes, those changes can be impactful, as opposed to Spurs having to try and figure it out a little bit on the way and kind of go off the cuff. You know, you got Jed Spence high right at the moment. He's done more in the 10 minutes he's been there than Son has in 70. You're just looking around at this Liverpool team. It looks a team that's cohesive, that know what they're doing, they believe in what they're doing, and it looks like a Spurs team to me that are looking for ways out. They're looking for excuses, and I've said it before, but I'll definitely be listening to Jamie on the way home and try to hear what his take is, especially as a midfielder, someone that watches those positions. I just think it's been really disappointing.
Now here's Son for Spurs, rolling it down towards Archie Gray on the overlap for him. Left-footed ball clipped inside the penalty area. The flag was up. I think he just curved over the dead ball line before Kelleher punched it onto the roof of the net, which
I think the
was offside.
I think the lino's got that wrong there. Happy to be proven wrong, but no, it doesn't go out at all. Also, Kelleher punched it off the bar.
Yeah, he punched it onto the bar and it went over. So here are the Liverpool changes. And a good ovation for Nunez as he makes way. Jota's going to come on for him. And Alexis McAllister, I think, is going to be replacing Curtis Jones. So McAllister for Jones. And Jota on as well. Jota, who scored in his last 2 appearances, but hasn't played in his last 5 games. Well, the last 5 games because of injury. So Liverpool delighted to see him back. He's got 8 goals this season at a tidy rate of return. And he will lead the line for the 20 minutes that remain. Spurs still have the opportunity to extend that further into Thursday evening. At the moment, it's Liverpool 2-0 up on the night and 2-1 up on aggregate. And looking comfortable. Spurs still wait for their first shot on target of the night. Konate clipping one forward towards Bradley. It was a something or nothing ball. Bradley kind of dealt with it, but Kulusevski's able to pick it up. Little 1-2 between him and Gray as they come in off the Tottenham left, and then good strength from Kulusevski to get the better of Jota and working through the midfield for Bentancur. From him to Bergvall, Danso, who's shown his ability to push forward as a marauding centre-half. Finds Son, low ball in from him, but not the best. Danso picks it up next phase of play. Can't work it back to him. Tell did his best, and now Spurs have lost their shape as Liverpool try and break quickly, but Bentancur was ahead of Jota and was able to win it back.
Kulusevski looks a much better player, doesn't he, in the 10 gym? He looks like he's got that freedom to just roam, and to be fair, the boy Danzo at the back as well, he's looked well, considering that what they paid, 21 million for him potentially.
Yep.
He looks like he's got a bright future. Just a good ball.
Son will chase it. Kelleher's going to get there first. Yeah, Danso had half a dozen appearances in the Premier League when he was a Southampton player. They didn't go great. Sent off in one, and he suffered a 9-0 defeat in one of the others. Here's Gravenberch. So much space on the left-hand side for Cody Gakpo. Getting it onto his right foot. Back for Ryan Gravenberch again. The Dutchman to his right-hand side for Szoboszlai. And back! And then he's hit the post. Second time that Liverpool have hit the frame of the goal in the space of 5 minutes. This a low skidding effort that beat Kinski. Hits the outside of the left-hand post and ricochets into the hoardings in front of the Kop.
Really good play from Liverpool. Could have probably got in a bit earlier if the pass was properly from Gravenberch out to Gakpo. But unfortunately they recycle it back, and then they're just in a situation where it just looks like one more goal and the floodgates will open. I'm man-marking Son at the moment with my eyes and just watching him, and unfortunately he's not interested. He needs to come off, bring one of the kids on, let them showcase what they can do, because he's not offering anything to this team at the moment.
Is that down to a lack of confidence?
Again, I'm not one that believes in confidence. Confidence comes from yourself. He knows how good he is and what he's done.
McAllister, Bradley, and this to win it. Liverpool will be at Wembley. Dominic Szoboszlai racing forward with the easy job of siphoning it past Kinski into the bottom right-hand corner. Liverpool 3, Tottenham 0, 3-1 up on aggregate. Merseyside, well, this half of it will be empty. In the middle of March, it will be a Liverpool-Newcastle final, and Spurs left to lick their wounds. It's been a performance that's been in keeping with their season. They've let themselves down tonight, they will feel. Second best all over the field, and Liverpool 3 up are going to Wembley.
Game, set, match. Again, turnover. It's a lovely ball in from McAllister. I thought it was Harvey Elliott that was coming on. It was McAllister that came on. Breakaway again. Mo Salah, selfless run, drags 2 or 3 people away, rolls the ball in for the middle of the pitch into Szoboszlai. 1v1, touch, finish. Job done. I really, really feel sorry for these Spurs fans that have travelled. This team has quit on the job. He genuinely has quit on the job.
Well, Szoboszlai scored at Spurs in December in the 6-3 win, and has scored tonight as Spurs lead 3-0, 3-1 on aggregate. And Tottenham with an opportunity to bring it forward, but Tell chasing a lost cause, can't get there. And Liverpool have it back. Songs of jubilation and of impending victory as far as Liverpool are concerned, who now get a free kick on the edge of their own penalty area with 13 minutes to go. Liverpool 3, Spurs 0, and Spurs need 2 to get this to extra time. And they still haven't had a shot on target tonight. Salah coming to meet it, flicked off by Szoboszlai, back towards Bradley, driven forward by him. And they go all the way through towards Kinski away to our right-hand side. Scarves being waved around the heads everywhere you look, except for the lower tier of the Anfield Road end away to our left-hand side. Those travelling Tottenham supporters will be frustrated. Tell getting it forward, that's a nice ball. Son, very little in the way of support, but he's making his way inside the penalty area. Little shimmy, trying to get the better of Konate, and he's actually hit the underside of the bar. And it's gone to safety from a Liverpool perspective, and Son looks up to the heavens. He can't believe that Spurs' best moment of the night hasn't seen them give themselves just a little bit of hope.
Welcome to the party. Son's eventually got here. Really good play from Tell, goes into the area, takes it on the back foot, and he just plays a delightful little ball inside his own half, out to Son, just inside of Konate, allows Son to run onto it, on the angle, little step over, gets a shot off, hits the underside of the bar. Really, really difficult angle. But when you look at it, he probably has done too little too late. We spoke about it earlier. 3-0 down, now players want to show up. This is when it's easy. Give me the ball at this point, it's easy. It doesn't matter if we make mistakes. I just think some of these Spurs players have really let themselves down.
Gray finding Kulusevski towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's well blocked by Ryan Gravenberch. And Liverpool can just play it forward calmly, sensibly. Salah to McAllister, and his ball forward mopped up by Dominic Szoboszlai. Now Konate coming outside the penalty area. Spurs are going to have to regroup quickly ahead of that FA Cup tie at Villa, which is of even more significance now. It'd be interesting to hear your views on the Sports Bar on 03717 223344 about how this changes things, if it does change anything as far as Ange's long-term future is concerned in your view, Spurs mind. The ball on the edge of the penalty area with a little deflection from Robertson's shot, which just takes a touch on its way through and goes into the Kop and out of play for another corner. 11 to go, and Liverpool are 3-1 up on aggregate here on Talksport.
Feel like another one's coming, Jim. They're just breaking through Spurs with ease, going from right to left, very, very easy. A couple of Spurs players coming back. Looks like Mikey Moore, potentially Reguilon down there, coming on as well. But if I was Ange, I'd be putting these young kids on, see what it's like and see what they're up to. But unfortunately, seems like the same of the same.
Liverpool are going to make a double change as well. Elliott and Diaz will be coming on for them. So a corner to Liverpool on the far corner as we look at it in front of the Kop. It's another in-swinging delivery, and it's another goal. So simple. Virgil van Dijk makes it 4. Delivery towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Van Dijk came to meet it, and the man that scored the winner in the final last season will be leading them out in the final this. Liverpool 4, Tottenham 0. It's the cue for the exodus. The race for the M6 begins for the Spurs fans. They have seen enough, and you sense they've seen enough not just tonight, but they've seen enough with the way things have been going for a while. Yes, there are mitigating circumstances, but this is an unseemly night that's been in keeping with much of Tottenham's hugely disappointing season. Spurs 4 down, 4-1 down on aggregate, and they're going to be beaten semi-finalists.
Big Virgil van Dijk showing leadership, showing power. Lovely ball into the area, but just the desire to go and head that ball over 2 Spurs players just shows the difference in class and quality. For Spurs and for Ange, unfortunately, it's going to be very lonely. A lot of soul searching, a lot of questions. But I worry now. I really do worry, Jim, for him, not only for tonight, but a massive game against Aston Villa in the FA Cup. Huge for their season. He's got to get some out of these players because they're not giving anything at this moment in time. And it looks like to me a little change in formation as well. Now Archie Gray's gone from a right back to left back to centre half by the looks of it.
Well, Ben Davies has come off and Mikey Moore has come on. So Gray's moved into centre half and Spence is going to come to left back and Moore will go out to the right wing. Liverpool have made a double change. Gakpo and Salah off, and they are replaced by Diaz and Elliott. Kelleher driving the ball forward into Tottenham territory, chested down by Gray, who's now played in 3 of the 4 positions across that Spurs back line tonight. And he finds Kevin Danso. Danso side-footing the ball out towards the right-hand touchline. Spurs work it forward. Kelleher is across to mop up. Van Dijk scored the 4th goal, couldn't get the touch to work it forward effectively. Diaz can get it out towards the left-hand side. Jota waiting in the middle. Elliott, who's just come on and marked at the far post. There's no Spurs player anywhere near him. It's across the edge of the 6-yard box and Spence is there to clear. Ball brought down towards the edge of the centre circle, and Liverpool will build it in a deeper, more central area with Van Dijk. Robertson just lets the ball deliberately run underneath his foot, but it just got to the touchline quicker than he anticipated, and he goes out of play for a throw. Got to be taken over on the Spurs right-hand side. And the Spurs fans that are heading for the hills just been given a send-off by their Liverpool counterparts. This has not been a happy hunting ground for Tottenham. Conceded 4 now in each of their last 3 visits here. They haven't won in 15 attempts now since goals from Van der Vaart and Modric back in 2011. This is going to be their 60 feet in 7 at Anfield, and this will hurt them. Diaz, it's back inside the area. Jota, deflection, and he goes out of play for another corner.
It's a shame, Jim. It's a shame. I'm not one to feel sorry for people at all. I believe you get out what you put in this life, and you look at the 2 centre halves, Davis and Danso. They've done well. You look at Jed Spence, Archie Gray, can hold their head up high. Even Tell, when he's come on, has showed a level of commitment that you can say, right, there's enough to build on. There's too many players skating by in this Spurs team, and Andrew's got so many questions to try and answer after this game. Really, really poor.
In comes the latest corner. That's headed away much more effectively than the last one was dealt with. Szoboszlai then rides a challenge from Spence, which drew some oohs and ahs, and
he's lucky.
The referee is given a free kick against him.
He's lucky there, Spence, that he's just put his foot down at the right time. If he would have went with a straight leg there, it'd have been off. I think that's the sense of the frustration for the young man, because, like I said, he's played well. He's had a good account of himself, and in a 4-0 defeat, you don't really ever want to feel that you've done well, that you've tried and you've been aggressive, but just looking at this Spurs team, Jim, I don't want to make it too much about Spurs because Liverpool have been excellent, but it's so hard to see how this team's going to finish in the top half of the table. So hard to see how they're going to beat Villa at the weekend. It's a real complete capitulation from this team, unfortunately.
Well, they got that FA Cup tie. They're still in Europe, of course, in the last 16. Plenty of headway to make in the Premier League table. This one done and dusted. 5 minutes to go. Liverpool 4, Spurs 0. In comes the free kick from Szoboszlai, and he should have been 5. Tottenham just switched off. Ball flighted inside the box. Jota coming to meet it. Didn't get the right angle on the header, and it's gone wide of the far post.
It could have been any of the two. They're quitting. There's no way to say it, Jim. They're quitting. Jota ends up heading it. He actually takes it off the head of Diaz. But the two Liverpool guys have just run from the edge of the 18-yard box, and I think it's Bentancur and Kulusevski have both just stood there and went, go on, and if he scores, he scores. They're quitting. I'm sorry, they're quitting on the job.
Van Dijk leaves the field to a rapturous ovation, and Jarrell Quansah is going to come on to replace him. Man who started all 4 previous League Cup ties in this run, and he comes on for the final minutes tonight. Now, incidentally, because Liverpool are going to be in the final, their match at Aston Villa in the Premier League, which was due to be played that weekend, is going to be brought forward to a week on Wednesday. It's going to be live on Talksport. That's Villa-Liverpool, 7:30 Wednesday week. That's the 19th of February, and you can hear it live, exclusive for national radio on Talksport. Liverpool's trip to Villa, which is one of still potentially 28 games that Liverpool have left this season. Now we're in the second week of February, and they still might have 28 more games. So I think we'll end up playing 66 if they go all the way in every competition. We've got 3 minutes left in this one. Liverpool 4, Spurs 0.
Jim, just how well has Arne Slot divvied up the time? The game's done now. We've seen in years gone by Arteta not bringing Saka off. In this situation, as soon as it went 3, 2 off. As soon as it went 4, another 3 off. They're just in a situation where they're managing every, not only game, but expectations so much better than anyone could ever imagine. Again, just watching Jed Spencer, a little ball goes into Harvey Elliott. At least got a bit of pride about him, the boy. At least he's got a bit of sense. He's won the ball, but he's left a little bit on Harvey Elliott. Harvey won't be happy with that, but from a Spurs point of view, at least he cares. At least he's showing that he cares in the right way. Not running around chasing in front of the fans, not getting substituted and walking past to give it a solitary clap. I've been here, Jim, when you lose big, and it's hard. Going back into that dressing room, it's hard. But you know, you come off that pitch trying your best, you give it everything. I'm not sure a lot of these lads can say that.
Szoboszlai playing it forward. That's stinging criticism from Troy Deeney there of the Spurs players, and questioning their attitude tonight. And your say is more than welcome. 03717223344. And Jamie O'Hara will be hurting. Spurs fans, you will be too. Love to hear your thoughts, and jubilant Liverpool supporters, of course, want to hear your thoughts on this performance, how good this season might end up being. It's going to be 2 defeats in 33 in all competitions at the end of the night, and one of those in effectively a dead rubber in Europe away to PSV, and the other now completely academic because of the margin of the victory tonight. Arne Slot's name is being called. Well, what a firm favourite he's going to be. Already is. Very understated compared to his predecessor. But what an impact he's having. Here's Conor Bradley as we go into the final minute of the 90. The ball played back towards Kelleher. Liverpool next in action away at Plymouth. Will be there with them. It's going to be a much changed Liverpool side that takes the field at Home Park 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. And then the Merseyside derby next Wednesday, also live here on Talksport. That's Wednesday the 12th. And then Liverpool's trip to Villa the following week. The rearranged game, which will be played the 19th, also live here on Talksport. Last knockings here. Lucas Bergvall in possession for Tottenham, able to turn away from inside his own half, plays it back towards Archie Gray. Gray down towards Tell. Tell's now playing on the left with Son through the middle, which was the change that Troy was advocating about half an hour ago. Bergvall clipping one out towards the Tottenham right-hand side. 10 seconds to go. There's not going to be an awful lot of time to be added on. Spurs bring it forward with Kevin Danso. I thought it might just be the token gesture 1 minute added. It is going to be 3. Spurs need to score 3 goals within that 3 minutes to take this to extra time. Kulusevski doing his best to win it back. Playing it down towards Jed Spence, Liverpool fan behind us, calls clean sheet, boys, clean sheet.
Nice.
Here's Spence. Now towards Son, right-footed curving effort, and Kelleher scrambling back. Was grateful to see that just drop over the bar onto the roof of the net. Out of play for a goal kick. It's Liverpool 4, Tottenham 0.
Again, good work from Jed Spence. Counter-pressing after losing the ball, wins it back. Nice little ball inside to Son. Edge of the 18-yard box. Tries to bend it and shape it to that far post. Unfortunately, just lands on the roof of the net. Too little, too late for Spurs. Unfortunately, I've just had an old friend of mine who is an ex-legend at Spurs. I just said, how do you feel this game's gone, mate? And he put, I'll speak to you tomorrow. So that sums up where he's at.
You say best when you say nothing at all. Ball out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Liverpool left-hand side in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand. And Sir Kenny's old club going back to Wembley for yet another League Cup final. What a record they've got in this competition when Kenny himself helped them win 4 consecutive years in the early 80s. Are they going to go back-to-back again? Now win it for an 11th time. Newcastle standing in their way, and we'll bring you that final March the 16th, the 3rd Sunday next month, and that'll be live here on Talksport as well. Liverpool just maintaining the ball, no sense of jeopardy, and danger in the game long since over, although it has just been presented to Son in a central position, 25 yards out, and saw Kulusevski's run, and he just passed it to Gravenberch. Liverpool can bring it away with Luis Diaz. A minute of stoppage time to go. And again, the Liverpool fans will be walking on with real hope in their heart. The quadruple dream stays alive. This is a night that did have potential jeopardy when that quadruple dream would have been over had they not won, but they have won emphatically. Porro over on the Spurs right. Gets it out towards the far touchline. Now Son, just waiting, the ball didn't get there. An opportunity for Liverpool to win it back, and again, just to put the icing on the cake. Elliott trying to do that. Can he work the angle? He can't. Bergvall sticks a foot in. And Spence can knock it away. Gets it past Szoboszlai, out towards Tell. Tell working it infield. And Spurs taking it down towards the touchline. Tell didn't keep that in. And Moore's industry is unrewarded as he drove for it. It will be a throw. That throw, I'm sure, is going to be the last action of the game. In fact, no need for it. Job done for Liverpool. And the quadruple dream lives on with a quadruple of goals here against the Spurs side, who simply didn't do themselves justice. This is a Tottenham performance in keeping with their season. Sometimes you come up against better opposition in semi-finals, but there's a way to lose games, and in his heart of hearts, I'm sure Ange Postecoglou will feel that this wasn't the way to lose this one, because they were second best all over the field. There was no belief. Liverpool, from the very first whistle, took control on a night where Spurs didn't have a meaningful shot on target. Liverpool with Gakpo in the first half, and then Salah, Szoboszlai and Van Dijk in the second, winning emphatically. They put 4 past Spurs here at Anfield again. 4-1 the aggregate victory. Spurs left to lick their wounds. Liverpool will take on Newcastle in the 2025 League Cup final.